Okay, hello everyone. My name is Sheila from Uganda. I'll be co-presenting with Izak from Namibia. Our presentation represents the demand-driven journey within Coca Cola, and we are going to specifically talk about how this happened in Uganda and Namibia. This process has been happening for about 1.5 years within about 8 countries in Africa, and we'll show you what this representation is in terms of the journey.
Hello everyone, my name is Izak. I'm responsible for planning at the Coca Cola bottler in Namibia, and I also look forward to sharing this journey with you. So everybody should be familiar with the term VUCA, meaning volatility, uncertainty, chaotic, and ambiguous. And even if you're not familiar with the term, then surely you are experiencing these effects in real life today. And the Coca-Cola landscape reflects exactly the same picture, as Sheila can name a couple of examples for us.
Okay, so in Coca-Cola Africa, we've had massive changes over the years. You can see that we've moved from about 370 SKUs to about 580 SKUs as I talk. We are all familiar with a classic Coca-Cola Fanta Sprite, but we've had to expand our portfolio to stay competitive and to stay ahead of our competition. And if you look at the competitive landscape, we are dealing with over 10 competitors in the market within Africa, right from energy, sparkling soft drinks, to dairy, to juices, and all these have been infiltrated in different countries. So that's why we've had to adopt a way to plan better amidst this sort of complexity. If you look at our categories, we've moved from 7 categories where we used to only play in the classic sparkling soft drink and juice. As I speak today, we are playing in about 18 categories that include energy, dairy, specialized juices, water. So with demand-driven planning, this has helped us plan better in a complex world and really stay ahead of our competition.
Since we're going to talk about DDMRP, or demand-driven material requirements planning, we thought it's a good idea to just share some basics around DDMRP and focusing more on operating model. If you look at the right-hand side top picture, that is actually the holistic business system of which demand-driven operating model is just a small piece. And that is called the demand-driven adaptive enterprise model. So normally you would start with the demand-driven operating model. You're going to build up your business into the different levels of within this demand-driven adaptive enterprise model that will encompass your S&OP process as well. But basically, when you look at the operating model, you're going to put all your parts in a buffer profile, which consists of a red zone, a yellow zone, and a green zone. Red zone being the safety, the yellow zone basically driven by the lead time, and the green zone is a factor of your minimum order quantity or your replenishment frequency. And what happens is when your net flow, which is basically your stock on hand plus your supply minus your confirmed orders, when that goes to the top of the yellow, so it just drops into the yellow zone, then an order recommendation is going to be generated by DDMRP, which will take your stock level back up to the required levels. And you'll see at that bottom picture, which is an actual graph from one of the materials in Namibia, which is called the buffer trend graph. You'll see how that the lines actually go up and down within the zones. the black line being the actual on-hand inventory, and the purple line being the net flow. So it's a very, very visual system. It makes it very easy to plan and explain happenings and decisions within your DDMRP parameters. You'll also see that the zones, the height of the bars, they're fluctuating all the time. That's because it's actually a dynamic system. So your buffer zones get recalculated all the time based on demand and supply changes, and also changes in variability. So that's basically it. If you need more information, if you're interested in learning more about DDMRP, go to the demand-driven website. It's the demand-drivenworld.com, where there's lots of information and also case studies. Okay, then basically this is our journey. Yeah. Okay. So we started with training on DDMRP in October 2016, and that sparked immediately the need or the urge to do a pilot in Namibia, which was done on a very rudimentary Excel model, but we could already see the potential and the benefits. So within a year or so, we moved to a more integrated Excel sheet that was linked with or could pull data from SAP into the program, which made it more automated. Then to further entrench the principles of DDMRP within the business and for a wider audience, there was the DD Bricks game, which is basically a simulation of operation where you apply the DDMRP principles so that everybody can see how it works and what the benefits are. Then in 2019, a decision was made to revert to actual proper DDMRP software. So we moved over to Replenishment Plus from Demand-Driven Technologies. And that was there was a rollout basically once a month in a country in our group. Sheila can talk a bit more about the rollout in Uganda.
Okay, so from when we had the launch in Namibia, that was in 2019. 2019, all the countries came together. We had training, we had implementation to support Namibia, but also for the other countries to understand what that meant, which was a very, very good exercise because we got to get our heads together and understand the guidelines and what the DDMRP was supposed to benefit us. So from Namibia, we started to roll out country by country. And in August 2019, we moved over to Uganda, where we implemented with a team and the planning team, the team from our group office that helped us, support us to see us through. After Uganda, a month later, we moved to Mozambique. Then we moved to Ghana, Ethiopia, and gradually all the other countries were supported within a period of 6 months. So this really helped us to get the process starting, to learn from each other and really benchmark on each of the countries that had started earlier to support the rest. So that is what our journey looked like in terms of implementation.
Yeah. So there's also some pictures of the teams that worked on this project, and they on the right you can see people actually playing the DD Bricks game.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
So what were the results? And I can positively say that there has been improvement since the launch of DDMRP. If you just look at the last 3 years, 2018 to 2020, Namibia had an out of stock of 19%. Out of stock and on time in full is our main metrics when it comes to planning. And we moved from 19% out of stock in 2018 to 12% 2020. So still room for improvement. We obviously want to get to those same levels Uganda is at. I'm sure Sheila is going to help us with that. And then on the outer, we basically moved from 76% to 86%. So again, you can definitely see the benefits.
Good. And then moving over to Uganda, same story as Namibia. You can see the trends from 2018. Out of stock, we moved from 2.3 in 2018. We've seen that go down to below 1%. We are currently trending at 0.9% in 2020, which is commendable. We are doing better. We're trying to also get to a point where it even looks better than this. And then also OTIF, we've said our main also major customer service metric, from 88% in 2018, we're now trading at 97%. So overall, you can see that, you know, since we've been tracking the implementation, these are the KPIs we thought would show the impact of DDMRP, and it's very visible. It's very visible across the markets, but this is just to bring a highlight to what we have seen in Namibia and Uganda, because of that visibility you get with DDMRP, but also focus, because as Izak had said, at any one point you need to get your on-hand stock to green. So DDMRP helps you do that. It helps you reflect that on your demand and not your forecast. So yeah, so the results are very evident and really show what this tool can bring to you.
Yeah, so definitely good results, very beneficial, and yeah, we're excited about the journey forward. I'm sure there's going to be more benefits as well, not only on these metrics. Then what were our key learnings? We're going to go through this list. Change management. As you move to a new planning philosophy, it's very important to make sure everybody's on board, make sure everybody understands what are the aspects involved, because this decision runs across different facets of the business.
Yeah, then obviously you need to buy in your senior management. Without them, you can't really get anything done. So really get that buy-in, help them understand what this is bringing to the table, and then you roll it out to the bottom levels.
It's also very important to get buy-in from the planning team. As you know, people are normally averse to changes, and those are the guys that are going to work with the system. So they need to believe in it. They need to see that it is going to bring benefits which weren't there previously and actually make their lives easier.
Yeah, then also one of the things you need to really do is make sure your principles are understood. Your DDMRP principles have to be understood by everyone, not only by the planning team, supply chain team, but you roll it out to your finance team, procurement, logistics, so that everyone understands what the benefits are, and then also plays a part to help you get this starting.
And then also to follow the sales and operations planning cycle. Like we mentioned earlier, if you only have the DDMRP operating model, you still need something to drive the business decisions. And those need to be replicated in things like the settings of your buffer profiles.
Yes, and then very critical is your demand planning. Has to be very critical to enable you drive the other processes like raw material planning, supply planning, and capacity planning. So you need to get it right in terms of what your demand is and what your projections are, so that you have a true reflection of what DDMRP is going to drive in the end.
And then also to analyze SKU profiles regularly to keep your optimum stock levels. So it's actually coming back to the S&OP cycle in a sense.
Yeah, then as we also said earlier, you need to roll it out with the existing teams. Very, very key, because everyone else has a part to play. if your sales numbers are not right, if your other teams are not on board, you won't get the proper output. So rolling it out and everyone playing a part to help the implementation is a big plus.
Yeah. And then the last one is to ensure that your master data is correct. If it's not, any system works like this, it's garbage in, garbage out.
Okay,
and that is our last slide.
Yeah, thank you everyone. It was a pleasure for us to present this. We are very excited. This has been a journey for us. What we're trying to do is ensure that we sustain performance and make sure that it is a learning journey. We're still pretty new to this and we're trying to make it work. But we have seen the benefits. We have seen the change over the 1.5 years and really looking forward to seeing better results in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
thank
if
you. Yeah.
Sorry. And if you are looking to improve your planning system, if you're looking for a new tool, then DDMRP is really the way to go, and you will see DDMRP really taking over the planning landscape going forward. So yes, thanks for giving us the opportunity to share with you, like Sheila said, and look forward to the other presentations.
Thank you. So over to the questions. Thank you.